Well, good Sunday evening, everybody. Meteorologist Kevin Corriveau here. WMTV 15 Plus weather. We're going to break down your weather a little bit more, and I hope you have been trying to keep warm out there. Today wasn't so bad of a day in terms of those temperatures, but we've had some really brutally cold mornings, and unfortunately tomorrow morning is going to be one more that we're going to be waking up, and those wind chills anywhere between -20 to -30 degrees again. So we're going into, of course, another first alert day for tomorrow. Like I said, today wasn't so bad in terms of that weather, but let's talk about what's going to be happening as we do go forward in time, because again, that bitterly cold air is in place, and when you wake up, very cold temperatures. Not as cold as Friday. Friday was our coldest day and coldest wind chills, but tomorrow will be a cold day as well. Today we did get to 4 degrees. It seems a little balmy out there compared to what we have been dealing with. And our morning low was -5. We didn't even get close to any of those records set back in 1904, where we get down to -26 degrees. All right, the country is still dealing with plenty of cold air, but for us, we now have a cold weather advisory that goes into effect at midnight through 12 p.m. tomorrow. So we haven't met the criteria yet, but if you are heading out this evening, just be aware that is going to be a chilly night out there. And if you are planning on getting up early to head to work tomorrow morning, just be aware that you may want to definitely add those extra layers because of the wind chill we are expecting to get tomorrow morning. All right, currently, Madison is at 0, feeling more like -10. Janesville, you feel more like -11. Up towards Camp Douglas feels more like -16. And La Crosse feels more like -18. That is where those wind chills, and these numbers are only going to continue to go down as we go through the rest of the evening. Winds, we've had stronger winds, but still looking between 9 and 11 o'clock, getting that 20-mile-per-hour winds in place. And then through the overnight hours, we're going to keep our winds anywhere between 5 to about 12 miles per hour for the majority of us. So yes, tomorrow is going to be a chilly morning. Now tomorrow, this is not the right graphic for you, so I'm going to pull out of this really quickly. No, tomorrow is not going to be -40, but let me pull up the right graphic for you so that we can update that for you. Tomorrow is going to be a very cold day, and while we're talking, I'm just going to pull up the correct graphic, but tomorrow is going to be a very cold day. And while I'm pulling this up, of course, if you have family and relatives around the United States, you may have been getting word of how cold and how miserable things have been across the majority of the eastern part of the United States. Things have been brutal, and the ice, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more coming up in just a few minutes, but the ice has been brutal, and the snow has been brutal across many areas as well. So let's get into that in just one second, but I want to give you those correct numbers that I have right here for you. And here we go. This is the correct numbers that I wanted to get for you. Heading out the door tomorrow, it is going to be a chilly one. And we're talking for Monday, -26 is our expected wind chill low tomorrow. Tuesday, -12. And then on Wednesday, we're talking -15. Now the numbers are going to go up slowly. It is not going to be a fast warm-up as we go through the week. Just be aware of that. We're talking below average temperatures basically all week long, and also into next weekend. Right as we go into tomorrow, our high temperatures look like this: 11 degrees for Madison, and that's about 15 degrees below average. Lone Rock 7, Janesville 7. Normally this time of year, we should be hitting average highs at about 27 degrees, and we're not getting anywhere close to that. Slightly better on Tuesday, maybe 13 degrees in Madison, 10 degrees in Janesville. But as we look at through the rest of the week and also into next weekend, again, 27 is our normal average, and we're not even getting to that point through the week, through the weekend, and only until next week do we finally get to possibly a high of 30 degrees next Tuesday. For our 7-day forecast, it looks like this. We're going to keep our first alert day here on Monday. And if you take a look at those daily icons, basically we're looking at dry conditions and also mostly sunny conditions through the week. Now we do have a couple more chilly days coming our way. That's going to be on Thursday morning as well as Friday morning, where we get those temperatures back down into the -4 category, which means wind chill could possibly be again -10 to -15 degrees on those particular days. So as we end out the rest of January and head into the beginning of February, these temperatures are going to be still very cold, well below average. We don't have the road problems like they have other locations across the country. We don't have the power problems like they do in other places across the country. But again, it is going to be very tricky out there in terms of the cold. And if you're stuck somewhere, you definitely want to have your winter survival kit in your car. You want to have a blanket, batteries, as well as water, and you want to layer up as well. So that's a look at what's happening here across our area. When I come back, we're going to be taking a look at some of the videos that have come in across the country because, of course, this winter storm has been widespread. I want to get to some of those videos coming up, and we're going to take a 60-second break. I'll be back right after this. All right, we're back. I want to take you and show you some video that has come in from around the country. We're going to head to St. Louis first. Take a look at the video that has come in with the snow here in St. Louis. They got well over 9 inches of snow in some areas, of course, shutting down the city in many areas. Very difficult to plow, of course, when you don't have the resources to plow in this area. Now I want to take you to Tennessee. This is the ice. Take a look at some of these images. The streets are clear ice. You cannot even get out of your driveway. You cannot even go down the street. You are stuck in your home. I was looking at some of the numbers, and it was about over 1 million customers were without power across many areas. We're talking not only Tennessee, we're also talking parts of Mississippi as well as Louisiana. Here is Georgia. Look at this. Look at this ice in the area. It is ridiculous how, and they're still dealing with it. Many parts of Georgia at the moment are still under an ice storm warning for that particular region. And last but not least, let's take a look at what's happening here. This is in Texas. Of course, Texas was one of the first areas to be hit by the snow in this region, and of course caused major problems at Dallas Fort Worth Airport around the area. They canceled a lot of flights. They canceled flights into our region as well, into Madison for yesterday and I believe today as well. But I want to show you some of the snow totals that we have seen so far. I'm going to go through this list real quickly and give you some of these numbers because it seems like New Mexico got some of the highest numbers with the snow totals in terms of they saw over 30 inches in New Mexico. Then Pennsylvania comes in about second, over 19 inches in New Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. They saw plenty of snow there. Down towards Davis, West Virginia, not very far from where I was staying before coming here to Madison. I was at Bridgeport, Clarksburg station there. They got 16.6 inches of snow for them. For parts of New Jersey, 16 inches of snow there. How about down towards Ohio, Salem, Ohio, 15.8. Connecticut has already seen 15 inches of snow. How about going a little bit further in? We are talking, gosh, there's so many snow totals here. God, there's over 295 snow totals, let me just tell you, on this map for the last 24 hours. Connecticut still ranking up there in the high numbers, and Connecticut, yes, and Pennsylvania. So the snow is not over yet. They're dealing with that snow, and they're going to be dealing with the snow for the next 24 hours. All right, when I come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about what is happening nationally, what is going to be coming towards them, and when will this all be said and done. So we'll be back in about 60 seconds. All right, we're back. I want to take you and show you what's happening around the country, because a lot of people are without power, but take a look at the temperatures with the people that are without power. We're talking particularly anywhere around that Texas, eastern Texas. We're talking also Louisiana and Mississippi area. The temperatures right now are below freezing. Now, to be without power in an area of the country that normally does not get these temperatures, you're really not equipped to get that heat. You know, we're not talking a lot of wood stoves. We're not talking a lot of ways to get, it's a lot of electric heat across much of that region. This is going to be a major issue for that part of the country. San Antonio right now is at 26 degrees. Dallas is at 20. Little Rock is at 21. And New Orleans, even New Orleans down towards the Gulf Coast, is at 37 degrees. When you look at the system right now, Dallas is still getting snow in the region. The system is now beginning to really focus on the Northeast and the Eastern Seaboard. Where you see that pink, that's either a combination of rain and snow mix or icing. And of course, icing is very, very dangerous. The snow is continuing to fall there across much of the Northeast. And when I was telling you those numbers for Connecticut, for New York, for New Jersey, and we were talking 12, 13, 14, 15 inches, the snow isn't quite over yet in that region. The winter storm warnings are still in effect for additional snow coming into play. But of course, one of the big things that we always focus on as one of the more dangerous things is this right here. Where you see that purple, that is still, ice storm warnings are still in effect for Georgia, South Carolina, as well as North Carolina for more additional ice in that region. Snow is still going to fall, and they could see anywhere between another 5 to possibly 10 inches of snow across the Northeast. Boston has already seen snow. They're going to get more snow. Syracuse, New York. New York, probably not going to get. New York City, not so much anymore. They're going to be switching over to possibly some sleet. West Virginia, another 5 inches for them. In terms of ice, good news is this takes us all the way until Monday morning, and it does look like the ice numbers have begun to come down in this region. So that is some good news for them there. Temperatures for tomorrow, though, still very chilly. Now, Madison, finally we are in the teens. We're not talking the minus teens for the afternoon highs, but we're talking the positive teens, which is some good news for us. We have been cold for days. Our first alert days for cold started on Friday all the way until tomorrow. And our first alert day for tomorrow is truly only for the morning. Once we get into the afternoon, we can likely wind down our first alert day and kind of enjoy those a bit milder temperatures that we have been dealing with compared to what we had been dealing with earlier. And then here on Tuesday, good news for Texas. Dallas finally gets above freezing. So does Little Rock, Atlanta, which means a lot of that icing that they did have can start to melt, and repairs can be done. Infrastructure can start to go back to normal, hopefully, but it's going to take a while. If you have loved ones or relatives or friends anywhere down in the South dealing with this, I know I was trying to get a hold of my family in Atlanta. It took a little while before they were probably doing other things as well, but it took a little while to get a hold of them. But they were all hunkered down, and they're not going to go anywhere anytime soon. All right, that is it for me. We will be with you coming up. Cameron and I will be with you, as well as Audrey, coming up at 9 o'clock on the CW. And then we'll see you all at 10 o'clock on WMTV 50 News, bringing all the latest of what is happening around the area, plus all the breaking news that we've had around the region as well, concerning areas such as parts of Minneapolis and also in Minnesota. So everybody stay safe tonight, stay warm, and we will see you in a little bit. Take care.
At WMTV, 15 News to your Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, or Google TV today. And never miss a moment of 15 News Plus.